Hello, viewers. Today we are going to resolve the mystery of time travel. Time travel. It's one of those ideas that has fascinated us for as long as we can remember. From classic scientific stories to mind-bending theories, the thought of moving through time has always sparked our curiosity. But what if it's more than just a fantasy? The idea of time travel goes back much further than you might think. Different cultures have stories and legends about manipulating time, but it wasn't until the 1800s that we started seriously talking about it. In 1895, H.G. Wells gave us The Time Machine, a story that really got people thinking about time travel. But it was Albert Einstein who took it from fiction to something that might just be possible. Einstein's theory of relativity changed everything. It showed us that time isn't this fixed thing. It can be stretched, compressed, and maybe even traveled through. His work opened up a whole new world of possibilities. Let's talk about some of the most famous time travel theories. Ever heard of a wormhole? Imagine space-time as a sheet of paper. If you fold that paper in half and punch a hole through it, you've created a shortcut, a wormhole. In theory, you could use that shortcut to jump from one point in time to another. Then there's time dilation, another idea from Einstein. This one says that as you get closer to the speed of light, time actually slows down for you compared to everyone else. So if you could somehow travel that fast, you could leap forward in time. But what about traveling back in time? That's where things get tricky. There's something called the grandfather paradox. If you went back in time and stopped your grandparents from meeting, would you even exist? It's the kind of question that keeps scientists up at night. Now, while all these theories are fascinating, they're still just that, theories. But there are people out there who claim they've actually traveled through time. Take the time-traveling hipster, for example. It's a photo from the 1940s showing a guy who looks like he's dressed from our time. Modern clothes, sunglasses, the works. Some say it's just a hoax or a case of mistaken identity, but it's definitely got people talking. And then there's John Titor. Back in the early 2000s, this guy shows up on internet forums claiming to be a soldier from the year 2036. He talked about his time machine and made all sorts of predictions, some of which didn't happen, but others that weirdly came close. Stories like these, whether you believe them or not, keep the idea of time travel alive and kicking. So, what does science actually say about time travel? Well, most scientists agree that traveling into the future is theoretically possible, at least in small increments. But going back in time? That's where things get a bit more speculative. One of the most intriguing possibilities involves black holes. Some theories suggest that the intense gravity of a black hole could warp space-time so much that it might create time loops or even allow passage into another time. Then there's quantum mechanics, where things get really strange. In the quantum world, particles can exist in multiple states at once. Could this be a clue to how time works on a deeper level? Maybe one day, understanding quantum mechanics could lead to real-time manipulation. For now, time travel remains mostly in the realm of imagination and theory. But with every scientific breakthrough, we get a little closer to unlocking the true nature of time, and maybe even learning how to move through it. Time travel has been part of our culture for centuries, from ancient myths to blockbuster movies. And even though we haven't cracked the code just yet, the possibility of moving through time, whether forwards or backward, continues to captivate us. So, what do you think? Is time travel possible, or is it just a fascinating fantasy? Let us know in the comments, and if you're as intrigued by these mysteries as we are, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the unknown. Goodbye.